The vast desert was silent, stretching endlessly beneath the cold night sky, a landscape of profound isolation.
Faint rumbles hinted at armored convoys, concealed far beyond the detection of any civilian observation posts.
Deep within this barren landscape, U.S. Joint Special Operations Command launched one of its most ambitious missions. Intelligence reports indicated an elusive insurgent federation was coordinating multiple attacks from a sprawling underground hub. The target, a subterranean fortress protected by overlapping tunnels, anti-air batteries, and heavily armed fighters.
No satellite imagery could penetrate the structure. Only boots on the ground could ever uncover the truth.
The night began with absolute secrecy, as a fleet of MH-47G Chinook helicopters carried elite operators.
These teams included Navy SEALs, Delta Force, and Air Force Special Tactics, flying low over the desert.
The operators sat motionless inside, their minds sharpened to a single point of focus, silence filling the cabin.
They were not entering a simple camp or bunker, but a deadly labyrinth designed to kill intruders.
This high-stakes mission required much more than just firepower. It demanded patience, precision, and iron will.
Special Tactics airmen deployed advanced countermeasures, masking their presence for a smooth, ghost-like landing. Once the rotors faded, operators formed a tight formation, scanning the immense darkness with night vision optics. The silence felt unnatural. There were no distant voices, no movement, not even the glow of heat.
The first phase required identifying the entrance, avoiding the multiple decoy traps designed as kill zones.
Drones sent earlier had vanished, their signals jammed by an unknown interference source in the desert.
The team advanced cautiously across the sand, relying on thermal imaging and ground-penetrating scanners.
After 30 minutes, a faint heat signature appeared beneath a dune ridge, pulsing like a heartbeat. A SEAL point man brushed aside sand, revealing concealed metal plates, part of a hydraulic lift system. Delta operators set defense while engineers studied the mechanism, finding it rigged with motion sensors. A single mistake could collapse the entryway as engineers worked, disabling each trigger with painstaking precision. Finally, the hatch creaked open, revealing a dark shaft descending into the earth with no ladder. The operators prepared for a vertical insertion, using specialized rope systems to descend into the abyss. The air inside was hot, stale, and heavy, with the distinct metallic scent of active machinery. At the bottom, a narrow corridor extended into darkness, illuminated only by red emergency lights. Voices echoed faintly from deeper chambers, confirming the underground base was active as the team spread out.
Within minutes, they encountered the first security checkpoint, a biometric gate requiring fingerprints and retinal scan.
Using reconstructed biometric data from captured operatives, Delta Tech specialists bypassed the system with silent override.
The gate slid open without alarm, and the team moved deeper, realizing the true magnitude hidden here. They entered a massive chamber, part control room, part armory, and the enemy's central nerve center. Tactical displays lined the walls, showing the region's terrain, shipping routes, and potential attack vectors. Weapons crates stacked to the ceiling contained advanced anti-air missiles, drones, and encrypted communication gear.
The scale was far beyond what U.S. intelligence had anticipated. This was a well-funded underground state.
Operators moved with swift efficiency, marking key points for demolition and securing critical hard drives.
But something felt wrong. The base was too quiet, almost staged, as if they were being watched.
Then, from the far end of the chamber, a faint metallic click echoed. A remote trigger.
The operators froze instantly, recognizing the sound of a trap as the entire underground fortress came alive. The narrative now moves deeper. into the hidden world of America's elite cyber warriors. This is a force that fights not with rifles, but with silence, stealth, and invisible code.
Their weapons can cripple an enemy nation before the first conventional shot is ever fired.
As global tensions rise, U.S. Cyber Command expands its classified operations, forming hunt-forward teams. These teams deploy inside foreign networks long before any conflict becomes public, tracing digital footprints. Elite specialists work from unmarked bunkers, isolated military vaults, and forward operating bases with total secrecy. Their mission: locate the threat, infiltrate the network, and neutralize it, leaving no trace behind.
On this battlefield, a single keystroke can shut down an air defense grid or freeze a missile silo.
And yet, none of these victories ever make the news, because their greatest successes remain classified.
The story now shifts to a chilling confrontation inside a foreign power's classified military network. American analysts detect a complex malware strain designed to infiltrate critical U.S. satellite systems.
It is a digital weapon capable of blinding reconnaissance satellites and grounding U.S. fighter jets.
Cyber Command deploys an emergency task force, a hand-picked fusion cell of analysts and programmers.
We have a breach on Sector 4. Reroute the data stream immediately.
They work around the clock inside a locked operations center, illuminated only by flickering threat indicators.
They break into the hostile network through a low-level logistics node, exploiting a flaw the enemy missed.
The deeper they go, the darker it becomes. Encrypted firewalls, decoy servers, and AI-driven traps.
Criminals move like digital ghosts, disabling alarms, forging credentials, and stepping quietly between systems.
At the center lies the enemy's master control hub, where the satellite malware is prepared for deployment.
The team knows that if they fail, the next global conflict could begin with a blinding strike.
The narrative intensifies as the task force prepares its counterattack, creating a mirror image of the malware.
But this version contains a hidden payload, engineered to shut down the hostile network from within.
It is a weapon of last resort, a digital equivalent of a precision-guided missile detonating silently.
At the exact moment of launch, the American team inserts their code, hijacking the enemy's attack.
Screens in the operations center flash green as the hostile network collapses, piece by piece.
Satellite uplinks go offline, missile guidance nodes reset, and air defense algorithms crash completely.
It is a flawless victory, achieved without a single jet launching or a single soldier firing a shot.
Yet for the cyber warriors, there is no celebration, no public recognition, no medals awarded.
But victory comes at a cost. The enemy begins a ruthless digital counterhunt, probing U.S. systems. Cyber Command immediately shifts from offense to defense, racing to close every exposed port and patch.
It becomes a silent cat-and-mouse war, with both nations fighting in total secrecy.
In this invisible conflict, hesitation can mean shutting down a nation's power grid or collapsing its economy.
The cyber warriors understand their job is never finished, standing watch in the digital shadows.
Part 3 opens with a chilling realization: the war the world fears may never need to begin.
Because the first real strike in the next global conflict will likely happen in absolute silence.
It begins with the revelation of Project Hale Storm, a top-secret U.S. strategy for digital war.
Under this doctrine, Cyber Command works hand-in-hand with the NSA, CIA, and elite Pentagon units. Their mission is to pre-map enemy critical networks long before any major crises can emerge. These targets are not just military systems, but power plants, air traffic centers, and underwater cable hubs.
The teams do not infiltrate to destroy. Not yet. Their goal is to create silent access points.
When diplomacy collapses, America flips a switch, and the enemy's digital world goes dark.
But the strategy raises a frightening question. What if the enemy is doing the exact same thing? The narrative shifts to the Pacific, where rising tensions trigger a massive cyber mobilization.
Analysts detect a new class of foreign AI infiltration bots, sweeping global networks, learning and adapting.
A new cyber arms race unfolds, with AI defenders battling each other inside cyberspace like invisible gladiators.
The US launches Sentinel Grid, an advanced defensive AI designed to hunt and neutralize digital threats. But as Sentinel engages the enemy, it encounters a hostile algorithm that behaves like a living organism. It divides into clusters, hiding inside unused memory sectors, and communicating in encrypted bursts.
What began as a simple intrusion becomes a war of machines, where control is an illusion.
Suddenly, an emergency alert rattles the command center. A major American port has gone dark.
Crane controls freeze, custom systems lock up, and cargo operations grind to a complete halt.
It's a digital strike, traced to foreign code that slipped in through a contractor's tablet weeks earlier. The infiltration went unnoticed, lying dormant until the enemy activated it, paralyzing the critical artery. Cyber Command's elite rapid response cell deploys immediately, racing to diagnose and reverse the attack.
As the team traces the malware, they discover the port is only the beginning. Automated drones, trucking fleets, and naval systems are lit with the same hidden code.
The US cyber warriors work under immense pressure as the enemy's time triggers begin activating.
The battle reaches its climax as Cyber Command executes a desperate, high-risk plan. Operation Deep Cut.
To break the enemy's digital siege, US teams must infiltrate the hostile command node. They deploy a custom-built algorithm, severing the encrypted relay channels that control the attack. In the final seconds, the hostile network collapses in a cascading failure, restoring control.
Systems across the country flicker back to life as the crisis ends, not with explosions.
Part 3 closes on a sobering truth. The public will never know how close the nation came.
The cyber warriors return to their bunkers, their world remaining an unseen battlefield of endless shadows.
In the wars of tomorrow, the first heroes to fight will be the digital guardians.
The night has ended, but the war in cyberspace never truly sleeps as dawn breaks over bases.
The digital battlefield is silent yet lethal, a realm where one misstep could cascade into global crisis.
These commandos move with precision, but their tools are keyboards, algorithms, and powerful encryption keys.
Every action they take has consequences that ripple across continents, yet their victories remain invisible.
Back in the underground operations centers, the teams conduct thorough post-mission analysis of every action.
Every line of code deployed and every trace of malware neutralized is logged and studied. The operators know that the enemy will adapt. AI-driven malware evolves, and hackers become more sophisticated. Intelligence gathered during the operation reveals a larger, more insidious, and coordinated cyber network.
The US cyber warriors now face a dual challenge: neutralize existing threats.
Every night, the stakes get higher, the enemy smarter, and the margin for error slimmer.
Despite the constant pressure, A quiet sense of purpose drives the teams as operators rotate shifts. Even in downtime, minds are focused, scanning code, running simulations, and analyzing intelligence reports.
The work is relentless, but they understand its importance. The lives of countless civilians depend on them.
They operate in the shadows, invisible yet indispensable. Guardians against a war that may never be declared.
As Part 4 progresses, the narrative shifts to a strategic debrief at a secure command hub. Commanders and analysts review the mission from start to finish, identifying strengths and weaknesses.
The operators remain attentive, understanding that each debrief is not just a report, but a blueprint.
Finally, the narrative closes with a reflective tone, as the world remains unaware of these battles. They are unsung heroes of modern warfare, their courage measured not in headlines, but in visible victories.
The mission may have ended, but the war is ongoing, and the Guardians stand ready.